Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm wearing the same outfit I was wearing in another video because I'm filming more than one video today. But anyway, this video is going to be my favorites from December, basically entertainment wise. I don't normally make these kind of videos, but I just so happen to have a very entertaining month of December, and there was lots of things that I just wanted to talk about. So I thought I would put them together in one video and do that. So anyway, I have a list here, so I'm going to look down. And I'm going to try to go quick because I've already filmed a pretty long video and I don't know how long my camera is going to last. So anyway, for TV, I started watching The Good Place. It's a sitcom. I watched all 3 seasons. The first 2 seasons I saw on Netflix, and I think I watched those 2 seasons in 2 days, the first 2 days of December. And then I ended up buying season 3 on Amazon because most of the season had already aired on TV and I missed it. So I watched all 3 seasons in the month of December, and it's up there as one of my favorite sitcoms ever. It stars Kristen Bell and Ted Danson, and it has an amazing cast of incredibly funny characters. It's basically a story of people who die and they end up in a place and they have to work on themselves to try to become better people, and they're confused at where exactly are they and what exactly is going on, and they're all thrown together in this crazy situation and have to form these relationships. It's just so good. You have to watch it. If you have not seen it, please go watch this show because it is just the best. I ended up going to the theater 4 or 5 times in December, which I typically go to the movies maybe 4 times a year. I don't really know how this worked out, but I saw a lot of movies in the month of December. And out of the ones that I saw, I gotta say that the new Spider-Man movie, Into the Spider-Verse, is that what it's called? That was my favorite. I thought it was incredibly well done. The story itself was very entertaining. It was very funny. I loved the characters in it. My only complaint with it is that certain parts of the movie, it was a different kind of animation than I've ever really seen or that I'm used to, but certain parts of the movie, the animation would look like how it looks if you're watching a 3D movie without the glasses on, and I didn't like that. Plus the end fight scene, the crazy scene at the end, was very colorful and very acid trip for me. It reminded me of the Lego movie. I don't like watching the Lego movie because it's just so much happening on the screen with colors and sounds and craziness, and it's just overwhelming to me. But beyond that, I thought the story, the characters, everything was great. Absolutely loved it. My kids loved it. My husband wasn't that big of a fan of it. He didn't like the animation at all. So I can see how certain people would not like it, but I really liked it. It was one of my favorites. For podcasts, I'm listening to 2. And these are ones I've been listening to for a long time. Of course, I'm still listening to Lore. I listen to that all the time. But ones I don't think I've talked about before. The first one is Weird Darkness. It's hosted by a guy named Darren Marlar, I think is his name. And he has a very unique voice. I absolutely love how he speaks. And all of Weird Darkness episodes are about strange things. So you might have an episode about a serial killer, a ghost, a cryptid like a chupacabra. You might get some historical fiction, crazy stories thrown in there. It's a big mixture of things, and a lot of the episodes will be about 45 minutes, an hour long, and sometimes he'll put 4 different stories in it. And so it really just keeps my attention. I'll listen to it in the car a lot when I'm driving. But yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, I think you would really like Weird Darkness. Another podcast that the cats are running, so another podcast that I really loved recently is called Unobscured, and it's by Aaron Mahnke, the guy who does Lore also. And Unobscured is basically a whole series of podcasts that he will do on one subject. So this was just 12 episodes, all based on the Salem witch trials. And it was so in-depth, and he gave so many details. So it started with, the very beginnings, the brewings of what was the cats are like going nuts. The brewings of what was going on in the beginning, what was upsetting people, and how the accusations, the witch accusations came about. So you really got to know all of the people that were involved, and you got a much bigger explanation of why things were happening the way they did. And then he wrapped it all up in the end, really neat. So you found out about the people who died and about the accusers and what happened and who moved away and who stayed. I just loved it. It was like a nonfiction book, but in story form, if that makes sense. I thought it was great. So he's done 12 episodes for the Salem Witch Trials, and in those 12 episodes, he had 6 different experts that he would consult or like give little blurbs from. And so the next 6 episodes, each expert gets their own episode where they talk even more about their information on the trials. I hope I'm making sense. But anyway, if you're interested in historical stuff and the Salem Witch Trials in specific, definitely listen to Unobscured. I will try to remember to leave links for this stuff down below. I also don't know what the next series is going to be after the 6 experts do their weeks, but he will move on to another subject. That's all I know. Anyway, moving on to YouTube. My current favorite YouTube channel is called Bedtime Stories. My daughter got me involved in this. She really has gotten into horror stuff lately, which has been great for me because she was not a horror fan. But yeah, she discovered Bedtime Stories, and she gets us to listen to it every time we're in the car, traveling somewhere. And again, this is a lot like Weird Darkness, where each episode is different. So he could do an episode based on demonic possession, or a haunting, or a serial killer, or, you know, all different sorts of things, but it's very fact-based. So he'll give all this information and give you all these facts of why people believed such and such happened. And then he will also give you like the opposite side of the story and say why these facts don't work right. Why these things don't make sense based off of this. So you get kind of both sides of the equation, and I really like that. Plus I like his voice too. So yeah, if you're looking for, you know, kind of creepy pasta type of YouTube videos, I would definitely check that out. And my last thing for entertainment, I gotta throw a book in there. This was a book that I finished, I think, on New Year's Eve, and maybe I should have put it in my favorites of 2018 because it was really good. But it's The Grown Up by Gillian Flynn. This was one that Carol Marie Reeds was talking about in one of her December vlogs. She mentioned it was a very short story, and she was using it, I think, for a readathon. And I was scrolling through my library Audible books one day, and I came across it, and I needed something short to listen to at night. And I think it was about maybe an hour and a half long, so it wasn't very long at all. But it's the same type of story in the vein of like The Haunting of Hill House. I would put it in that kind of category. It was like a ghost story or a mystery, but very creepy. And I love the setting of it. It's about a woman who is like a shyster type person and who pretends that she can like talk to spirits and help people by doing that. And she makes friends with this woman who ends up getting her to come to her house to cleanse the evilness out of her house. And there's an evil child, and there's lots of twists and turns. There's so many twists and turns for a book that's like super short. But it definitely kept me on my toes, definitely kept my interest, and I'm so glad that I listened to it. So yeah, if you're looking for something short and very creepy, definitely try that one out. But yeah, what are some of the things that you really loved in December? Did you come across a new show or a movie or even a video game? I got a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. That's something I probably should have added on this list. The Switch is amazing. If you are into video games at all, you need a Switch. You need one in your life. Yeah, Zelda, The Breath of the Wilds, Mario Kart, outstanding. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for me, please let me know those down below. And I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.